Om Shanti. This is Sakar Murli of 18th March 2023. Essence. Sweet children, create a way of giving an accurate introduction of the most beloved Father. Give the introduction of Alpha in accurate words so that the idea of omnipresence ends. Question. What is the duty of the children who pick up the imperishable jewel of knowledge? Answer. To churn the ocean of knowledge about everything very well and give everyone Father's true introduction. Give them the understanding of who made them into the sinful souls as well as the understanding of who made them into churnable souls. It is the duty of you children to save everyone from the picking the barrier of the Ravan and to enable them to pack up the jewel of knowledge. Create different methods for doing service. By remembering busy doing service, you will have limitless happiness. Song. Come and meet me, O beloved. Om Shanti. The Father, the Supreme Father, is always called the Creator. People say that He creates the full creation of the animals and birds. But you should explain to them and you should first of all understand about human beings. How does the Supreme Father, who is the Creator, create the human world? It is the human being who call out Him the Father because they are unhappy. Everyone remember that one Creator. So first of all explain who is the creator of the Hanuman world is. That creator is the Father of all. First of all, give them the Father's introduction. Soul either have the introduction of the themselves nor the Father. If they had the introduction of themselves souls, they could also understand those children they are. We are the children of the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. That Father is the Creator, therefore He could surely create the human world first. That could be the new world, heaven. The Father could definitely create heaven. It is not possible that the Father could create a creation of sorrow. Since we are the children of the Father, we create heaven. We should also that are the supreme apart. However, we have to come here to play our parts. There are ways of churn the ocean of knowledge. Churn these things for whatever the time we have available. Sages and holy men, etc., don't have accurate knowledge of the Father. The Creator could definitely create heaven, and the all souls could have to be land of the Nirvana. That land of Nirvana where the Father resides and also form of all our souls. You children have to make efforts to connect your intellect in the yoga of unlimited Father. Because of not having yoga, human beings commit sin and you have unable to imbibe anything. They don't remember the Father. God is only one. He is the most beloved creator of heaven. There is a lot of happiness there. Here people remember the God because there is sorrow. A father gives birth to the children to give them happiness. The gold and silver ages are called the land of happiness. It is now the iron age. After this, the golden age has to come. Therefore, the Father too definitely has to come. Churn the ocean of knowledge in this way of to explain to others. Here, you receive the Father's introduction from the Father. People don't have no most beloved Father. They don't know the Father. They don't even consider themselves to be His children. We know that Father have also we remember Him. He is the unlimited Father of the souls, the incorporeal creation through this corporeal Prajapita. There is Prajapita and Brahmins. Surely the Father of Prajapita Brahma could be also the Supreme Father who is called the Creator. When anyone comes, first of all give them the Father's introduction. Only when they remember all Father and only understand anything Father. No one could be able to understand anyone Otherwise, they understand the alpha. That is to explain this such a way people to also reside explain to you give the very accurate. No one else could explain that the unlimited Father is the creator of heaven. There must definitely be someone who has created of hell. Since the one the Father is the purifier, there must also be the someone who makes you impure. There has to be explained very clearly who is the Father we remember. We should not remember Ravan. People are completely ignorant. They either know Rama, the Supreme Soul who purifies everyone, nor Ravan who makes everyone impure. Before you ask people, you should fill the form. You have to give the people Father's introduction. No one else can ask the questions. Who is the Father of you? The soul. The soul exists the every human being. It is said, I beloved human beings and sensible souls are charitable souls. Only the Father make you into the charitable souls. So we make you into the sinful souls. This definitely has to be explained. Do you know the Father who is the creator of the heaven, whose children are to be here? We could surely have the create a pure world. The world is now impure, and this is why people sing, O purifier, come. Who could purify into the impure human beings? If you have the omnipresent, it is the right of to say Supreme Father, Supreme Soul here. If there were omnipresent, there could be even the no need of the remember me. We are now giving very good advice. The advice of Brahma is very well known. We Brahmins are the mouth-born creation of the Brahma, and the one who gives advice to the Brahmin and surely someone higher. Brahma is the son of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul Shiva, who is the father of all souls. This is the Prajapita, the father of the people. If the children churn the ocean of the knowledge in this way, do you service it and you have the lot of happiness. When someone comes, give them jewel of knowledge. The Father comes and enable you to pick up the imperishable jewel of knowledge through which you have to master of the world. When Ravan comes and make you pick up barrier worth nothing, images of the Shiva and images of deities are all made of stone. By worshipping stone, the intellect of the people have become stones. The images of Shiva and also made out of the stones. Surely Shiva Baba must have come and something is the living from the thought at all. There must be also the Prajapita Brahma. There must be has been Brahma Kumari Saraswati too. They exist now the practical way. Here price is she is the who fulfill everyone's desire. She is the goddess of the knowledge who donate the imperishable jewel of knowledge to everyone. They are the shown Saraswati with the Sitara. All of these things should be entirely intellect. If you have to give the lecture somewhere, you have to tune the ocean of knowledge. First of all, write out the lecture and refine it. Great. Good speakers speak with a great cause and quotation. There must be anything absolute accurately. If you hesitate even slightly, they lose and their donation. This is why they practice in advance. Here too, you should at least have enough knowledge to be able to give someone the Father's introduction. You have to do service. Many are trapped in the chains of the victorious gurus. Those gurus are unable to grant salvation to anyone. Only incorporeal God is called the purifier. No one has been great salvation through the notation of the omnipresent. Shiv Baba alone is the purifier. He is also called Rudra. The sacrificial fire of Rudra is well known. No one else can create such a great big sacrificial fire. For how many years does sacrifice fire of the knowledge is the Rudra creation? He explains to the speak about knowledge, the people of sacrifice fire. They are also have scriptures there. They related to the stories from the Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita, etc. They call that the sacrificial fire of the Rudra. In fact, this is sacrificial fire of Rudra. This sacrificial fire continue for the long time. Their sacrificial fire could be the perhaps continue to the month. Look at the how long the sacrificial fire has been going. All of the old things are to be destroyed in this. The fall of the new world has been burnt in that. Just imagine how big this sacrificial fire is. Think about it. When everyone's body has been sacrificed in it, all souls can be go back to the supreme abode. How can you become pure and impure until the Father comes? Who can liberate you from the churn of Maya? There must be someone. There is why Master himself comes. It should not be he becomes omnipresent and gives knowledge. He himself comes. We are his children and grandchildren. In fact, you are also this. The Father has now come and giving us his introduction. Heaven is being established. We are Raj Yoga Rishis, whereas those people are the Hatha Yoga Rishis. They tell the story of those whether should be such a guru either for than the Raj Rishi. All of them belongs to the path of devotion, whereas they belongs to the path of knowledge. There is a story about the scales and devotion of knowledge. On the one side of the scriptures of the path of devotion, on the other side the knowledge of the one of Gita. However, Gita is a heavier and Gita is the one Raj Rishi, whereas the Hatha Yoga is the many have the scriptures. Place all those scriptures on the one side and must be one Gita on the another side. In fact, that Gita is not our either. Our is the knowledge. God of the Gita comes the grant of salvation. So all of this should be remembered in the intellect of your children. Then either the someone understand or not. It is our duty to explain everyone. Everyone's eyes will be open at the time of death. The blame of the destruction emerged from the sacrificial fire of all knowledge. The Lord of the Pandavas is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. It is the only of Supreme Father, not Sri Krishna, who purifies the impure. Sri Krishna is the Prince. No one could be called out the God, the Father. We could have to call him the Father when his children. Sri Krishna is the children of himself, could be called the Father. The law does not allow him. Sri Krishna is have the partner of him. We have the children for the him and call out the knowledge who gives us. He never become the part of the full cycle and threshold, and he is the pure path. Sri Krishna takes birth from the mother womb and he could be called the purifier. You children now understand that the Supreme Father, Supreme Soul has entered a body of the Prajapita Brahma. Prajapita definitely have to exist here. Therefore, he names him Brahma and says, I have entered in the ordinary body. This one has to take 84 births now and final birth. He is in his stage of the retirement and very experienced chariot. It is said the Arjuna that adapted many gurus. That is the you also studies many scriptures, etc. Therefore, we have to explain in this way. How we have heard the name of the Prajapita since Brahma exists. There surely also have the Brahmins. There are the main clans. They shown the clans in the cycle. The Brahma clan is the small of all. We have the short time to take knowledge. There is so few Brahmins, then there are more deities, then there is the more warriors than them, where the more mechanics and sudras and them are have to come a few of the Brahmins out of the few. There are even fewer of the mercy of the happiness is constantly high. The Father has explained that the mercy of happiness will rise the Amrit Vela. During the day and the night atmosphere is very bad. At this time it is difficult to say that the remembrance the early morning hours as the nectar are remembered. At this time, all souls of the tide and so that it has become detached from their bodies and go to sleep. That is the occupation of the time. In fact, you should have the remembrance of the Father in your heart while walking and moving around. If you force yourself in sit in one place, remember Him. That remember could not be remain all the time. Rishis, Munis, and devotees also wake up in the early morning and sing devotional songs, etc. Because the atmosphere at that time is very pure. Therefore, explain the one who comes that you are the studying. There is no question of blind faith in that. The incorporeal Father in the form of the teacher is as easy of Raj Yoga, so people will also imagine and wonder how the incorporeal one teaches us. There are truly the words of the God, and He must surely entered in the body of the Raj Yoga. He have to take a body on the loan. Therefore, first of all, what inheritance could you receive by saying that He is omnipresent? Until God's words reach people's ear, they won't be able to understand anything. God is incorporeal, Brahma is the corporeal father of the people, and you are the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. The incorporeal Supreme Soul teaches through the body of Brahma. Our aim and object is to be changed from the human beings into deities. If you give the Father's introduction, you will be able to remember the Father. Some write the God of the incorporeal and have to explain to them. Some write them they don't know anything at all. Oh, don't you have to know the Father? Since the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul is said, the must definitely be someone. You children know that you are the heirs of the future income and the birth after birth from the Supreme Soul, Supreme Father. Those who create obstacles, this must be accumulate so sin, and they create the obstacles on purpose. Those who do the unknowingly could be not be blamed. In fact, the whole world is without understanding. Acha, to the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. You children understand the meaning of the each word. First of all, there is the mother and the father, the Bap Dada. The mother father is the one who Jagadamba is said, and there is the very deep matters. This is why deep riddle and the people who benefit have the great deal of the understanding it. Then he calls out long lost and now found. This is the another riddle, and he says that the children who decorates the Brahmin clan, the spinner of the discussion of self-realization. This is to the new riddle. Everything has to be riddle within it. Acha, to the spinning of the discussion of the self-realization, the light of the I love remembrance, the and good morning. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharana. First point, have a lot of love for the Father, as you remember him the auspicious time of the early morning hours of the nectar of let mercy of your happiness rise. Continue to practice having the remembrance of him while you walk and move around. Second point, in order to imbibe knowledge very well and have saved from the performance of sinful actions, make efforts to connect your intellect in yoga of the one Father. Blessing. May you be the constantly powerful and experience the essential Yog Yukt and the Yog Yukt forms of the stipplings in the point of from. Instead of going on the crooked path of the question mark, put the full stop to every situation, stippling to the point from the you with experience the essential and yoga yukt and yoga yukt forms. Your awareness, words and actions will have the become powerful. If you do the explanation and without of the you have to waste time and powers in the wasteful words and actions of the words why and what, because you will have to come out of the jungle. Therefore, stabilize in your point from the make your physical organs work under your orders. Slogan. Keep the diamond key of the word Baba always with you and you will continue to experience all treasures. Om Shanti.